Oh, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I hit the button, Phil. Welcome to the morning show here on Stock Market TV. Spencer, JC, Steve, Alfonso with you this morning. Kenny Glick will stop by. Todd Sone will stop by. And I was just talking to Fonz. I was like, it's July. It's summer. There's really not a lot going on out there. I mean, there are things happening. I mean, we're near all-time highs. We're not at all-time highs anymore, thanks to yesterday's epic sell-off. Did you see that yesterday? That epic sell-off in the indices. But yeah, it's quiet out there, right? It's quiet. I mean, there's tariff stuff, and it's pretty much all that's going on. I mean, there's risk on, so that's cool. There's things to buy, but from a narrative standpoint, it's just super quiet, which JC probably loves, honestly, because there's just less noise and more charts. So without further ado, let's bring on the guys. Let's see what's going on in their world today, and drop me a like, hit the thumbs up. Appreciate that. Here we go.
Epic sell-off, Spencer?
Yeah, 0.79%.
Epic sell-off, bro?
That's all right. That was a little facetious, but I did see, I'm not making this up, I did see a headline this morning that said the S&P futures were rallying after Monday's sell-off. So maybe they didn't use the word epic, but they did call it a sell-off. So
who's they?
I don't want to call anybody out.
Are these successful traders, or are these professional noise makers?
Look, I'm just saying they used the word sell-off.
Imagine
I added epic. That was me.
Can you imagine getting an Ivy League degree just so to wake up every morning and just to make noise and distract investors from making money? Imagine that's your life, you fucking assholes. These people suck. And people like you, Spencer Israel, coming out here talking about epic sell-offs. S&Ps were down 75 basis points. Are you fucking kidding me? Stock market's at all-time highs, bro.
Yeah. This is true.
Can you imagine? Imagine all that money getting an Ivy League education just to be a fucking noisemaker. Oh, I hope your family's proud of you.
Steve, what's up, man? Looking smart today with the specs. We like.
He actually does look smart.
He's looking smart.
I don't think I like
glasses. It. Yeah, you like that.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I like the bull market shirt.
Thanks,
you know, hairy. You know, like just like all over the place. Like I don't know this look. I don't know.
I got a haircut. One of the tougher things I think that you have to do when you move, find a new barber.
Yes.
I think I already found one.
Good for you. I just found mine. It took me a year and a half.
Based on what you're looking like, looks like you haven't found one yet. Looks like you maybe need another one.
Great job, actually. Great job. You're wrong. What I haven't found yet, though, and really, guys, I find myself missing New York this morning. We tried a bagel place down here. Rock hard bagels. I mean, the kind of hard you can't even bite through. Just terrible. Also, in South Florida, every Italian restaurant and bagel restaurant is from New York. None of them are from New York. I promise you. Don't trust it. You can't trust it.
That's just marketing, huh?
Yeah. It's disappointing.
Oh.
Steve, can we talk about Steve Strazza's rich mahogany and some leather-bound books?
I have lots of leather-bound books.
Excuse me. Somebody's a big deal. Somebody's a big deal.
No, we're slowly getting there. The camera down again this morning, but we're working through the kinks.
Spencer Israel, you should be ashamed of yourself. I just want to reiterate that one more time. Epic sell-off.
No, it was a little.
I was better than that, Spencer.
I was being facetious. I was being facetious.
Was it epic for you? Look, I have a gold calculator too. I just thought it like goes with the mahogany.
Wow. It's very Trump of you.
Yeah.
Well,
Is it
that's
the
how
greatest calculator ever?
that's how you know Steve was once an accountant, because he actually has like a literal calculator. We all use our phone.
room and said,
And
"It's
then
the
I have a great
greatest ever."
calculator. Then I have a quality Casio.
That's
as
a
well.
calculator we need you using. Don't forget where you came from, Strazza. Don't forget where you came. I know you're crushing it this year. Very successful. You're a big deal. Yeah, we know. Don't forget. Don't forget where you came from, all right?
Don't sass me. I'm mad at you about last night.
Well, when you look at the results, I don't think you're going to be all that upset.
All right, let's stay at some markets.
You're welcome. Shout. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this morning we got the Dow futures doing nothing, down 72 points. Is that an epic sell-off also? 16 basis points. Is that an epic sell-off, Spencer?
No,
We got
it's
S&Ps
not.
flat this morning, up 2 handles, 62.78 for the S&P 500, coming off the highest monthly close and highest quarterly close in American history. NASDAQ 100 up 37 points today. That's pushing 23,000. We're getting close to that 23,000 mark, up 17 bips on the day. 30-year bond futures down 1/3%, just under 113. Crude oil flat, just under 68. Copper up 1/3%, 504. Gold down a smidge, 33.36. Silver flat this morning, just under 37, with the volatility index down back to 17 after that epic sell-off in the stock market last night. Over in funny money land, we got Bitcoin pushing 109, up another 500 today. Highest weekly close of all time for Bitcoin, by the way, just a couple of nights ago. Ethereum up 1.4%, just under 2,600 for the ETH. Over in Solana land, 151, 1.8% to the upside today. Total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, 3.32 trillion. What stands out from this morning's futures after that epic sell-off yesterday?
From this morning's futures, yeah, the fact that we've bounced and we've recovered from the epic sell-off from yesterday stands out a little bit, right?
Strazza, anything?
I think that the only thing epic was the rally coming into the first down day we've seen in 9 days yesterday. That was pretty epic.
That is indeed pretty epic. You tell them, Strazza.
You know, it was V-shaped recovery into a nice little multi-week continuation for most things, and then a reaction rally out of the continuations. And now most things are back at new all-time highs, frankly. So
can we talk about slide 2, please? Because we talk about one of the most important sectors in America. How I grew up,
industrial.
You don't have bull markets without financials. Steve Strazza, how he grew up is, tech. These are the best companies. These are the greatest companies of all time, right? So we grew up a little differently. So we can go back and forth about which ones are more important. But they're both making all-time highs. So Strazza.
I love seeing the banks back at new all-time highs. Shout out JP Morgan. The good ones are already back. I mean,
Goldman Sachs.
Morgan and Goldman look so good. I think Citi, Wells, they're breaking out of massive bases themselves. Bank of America probably follows. But I think you go down the cap scale now, JC, because it's nothing new that capital markets like the broker-dealers and exchanges and even the data companies, it's nothing new that they're working. They've kind of been driving the strength. Insurance, I feel like it's always a bull market for insurance. Now I think you're finally going to get that rotation and that buy-in from the crappier banks, frankly. Community banks, the regional banks. They've been dealing with basically lending headwinds, right? The balance sheet problems. Remember the bank scare? Seems so long ago now, but that's been really holding regionals back. Do we have that overlay chart?
Yes, we do.
That shows the KBE, KRE. Look at how closely the big banks, and the big six is just, the 6 big ones. Goldman, Morgan, JPM, Bank of America, Citi, Wells. They've followed each other, these two lines, perfectly for my whole career. Then all of a sudden, during the banking crisis, look what happened, right? Regional banks really, really started lagging and underperforming in a big way. Lower interest rates fix this. They settle this divergence. I think it totally closes, and there's a huge catch-up trade to be made in the regional banks.
When you look at this chart and you see these guys dancing together, so up at the top, you got the All-Star Charts Big Six Bank Index. So this is equally weighted. JP Morgan, Citi, Bank of America, Wells, Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley, equally weighted. And then down below, you got regional banks. Wow. they are dancing together. So they have recently diverged in recent years. Are you betting, you two Utes, are you betting that regional banks do not catch up and that this divergence that you're seeing between the big banks and the little banks is a new normal? Is that what you're betting on, a new normal? Or are you betting on the reversion? Strazza, I know your answer. But I'm asking like the general, the audience, guys, if you want to weigh in the chat, are you betting that regional banks are not going to catch up? Is that what you're betting? Tough bet. Steve Strazza, tell the folks why that would be so silly.
When lending conditions improve, the same way that these guys were held back and lending was a huge headwind for the past few years, when the interest rate environment starts to improve and liquidity environment starts to improve, that's just going to become a tailwind. And you're going to see beta in the opposite direction from these names, and they're going to become the leaders.
And then are you looking at like the bellwethers of the regionals, like the regions financials, or like do you think it's all of them, like the Brozarks making moves,
Bank OZK, which is what they call it now, looks fantastic. I heard you talking about it last night. Wintrust looks good. There's a lot that look really good. We're actually, JC, funny you ask, we're doing a deep dive and that'll be out probably tomorrow. We're doing a deep dive on the banks.
Spencer, can you drop the link for anybody who did not attend last night's monthly chart strategy session for All-Star Charts? Wow. What a call. Rachel was in there. Rachel, shout out Rachel was in the chat. Rachel saying is the best call ever. Best call ever. What do you think about that, Strazza?
Was it really, Rachel? What the hell is this?
Strazza taking the under there. Wow.
Trump media. It could have been better, JC. It could have been better. Trump media files.
Always, by the way, always.
Trump media. What is going on? Files registration statement for crypto blue chip ETF. That's funny.
What does that mean exactly? What is a crypto blue chip out of curiosity?
Hold on. Custodied by crypto.com. The ETF is to launch later this year. So really, they can launch ETFs, Trump media?
I mean, anybody can, right? I mean, these days, any idiot is launching an ETF. I mean, I see idiots launching ETFs almost like at least once a week. So like some of the worst humans I have ever seen in my life are launching ETFs.
Yeah, no,
and then they quickly get delisted when they suck. But nevertheless, it is in America. I don't know how it works in communist countries, but in this country, it doesn't matter how dumb you are, what an asshole you might be, or how bad you are in this business. You can still launch an ETF in this country. Shout out to America.
But hold on. As much as I'm making fun of it, I actually love this. This is what we've been waiting for. All right, listen to this. The Truth Social Crypto Blue Chip ETF, that's just the name, will hold Bitcoin, Ether, Solana, Kronos, and Ripple, with 70% of its assets invested in Bitcoin, 15% in Ether, 8% in Sol, 5% in CRO, 2% in Ripple. Isn't this basically a cap-weighted index that we've been waiting for?
Yeah,
it is.
Wow, you make a good point here. You're making a good point, Strazza.
This is
is it all that rich mahogany that's giving you all this common sense? This is good.
Hilarious that Trump media is the ones launching it, but we've been waiting for this. That's probably a great vehicle and an excellent way to approach investing in crypto with a cap weighted. It is a blue chip ETF. Great name.
Is it like the S&P where it's buying more of the best ones and kicking out the worst ones? Is it going to be like that? Like rebalance like that?
I would imagine.
Yeah, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. You know how people are like, oh, the market is designed to go up. It's manipulated to go up. Yes. Yes, that's exactly right. The S&P 500 is the greatest momentum strategy of all time. Why? Because it buys more of the best ones and less or none at all of the worst ones. And it just keeps doing that over and over again for decades at a time. Hence, line go up. So yes, it's designed to go up. So in crypto, I could see a similar situation. So are you giving a shout out to the Trump media and technology family out there? The Orange Julius or whatever they call the guy?
I think that's a great move.
Yeah.
Why does that ETF not exist already? High shares.
I'm waiting
because they're busy launching new AI ETFs. That's why.
I'm waiting. Is there an actively managed crypto fund out there? I'm waiting for an actively managed crypto fund.
You can find that.
That should be a thing.
We know people.
LP limited partnerships. I don't know about ETFs though.
I'm talking about ETFs. I'm talking about stuff for normies like me.
No, but you could go to companies. I think any normies could go to investment managers these days, and they'll take your money.
Well, sure.
There are places you could go.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't see anything else notable in terms of the Newswire this morning, Spencer. I don't know if anything tickled your fancy, but I don't even know any.
Here's a great headline after JC's heart right here. What anti-woke funds and ESG have in common? I'll tell you the answer. They both suck. That's the conclusion. But I thought JC would appreciate that headline. No, there is nothing going on.
Dude, I was listening to Mark Andreessen last night, and he was talking with that guy Lonsdale. Is that his name? The guy from one of the co-founders of Palantir. And they were at the less communist Davos. You know how Davos turned into like this communism thing. So they're trying to do like an anti-communist Davos in America, I guess.
Sun Valley?
No, it's like a new thing. It's like a Reagan thing. And so they were talking about how impossible it is to get into good schools because, like, if you're like a white guy from the Midwest, which Andreessen is, he's from Wisconsin. He's like, there's zero chance they're going to let you in. Like, they don't like white guys from the Midwest. And, they're talking about how, you were talking about the ESG and the DEI and all this stuff. Like, it's tough getting into these schools now, apparently.
Oh, okay.
I mean, my kid's college fund, I got more money in my kid's college fund than like most. I got more money in the kids' college fund than I have in my fund.
I
what am I going to do with all this money if they can't get into any school?
I think even the public universities are very different today than they were just back when you and I were in college, JC.
Yeah, it's so tough to be a straight white male. It is hard out there for people like me. So please have sympathy,
dude. So. What was Spencer Israel or Steve Strazza, for that matter? What was the best chart of the conference call last night?
And Neo says, "What is that stuff behind JC? It's drugs."
Fun fact: I've never done drugs in my entire.
Wait, I have a feedback from last night's call, JC.
People don't ever believe.
Yeah, I have feedback too.
All right, give me the feedback. Go ahead, Spencer. Nobody asked you, Strazza.
Well, the theme of the call was all-time highs. There was a lot of charts. Okay, actually, the theme was stocks at all-time highs. A lot of charts at the beginning showing America, and then a lot of charts at the end showing the rest of the world. Quite a lot at or near all-time highs. But it left me wanting more. What I wanted to see who is not at all-time highs. That's the question I was left with last night.
Well, Hong Kong is not at new all-time highs. We mentioned that.
Yeah, you mentioned that, and you mentioned New Zealand offhandedly, but
New Zealand, yeah, I was just hating a little on Louis.
But I'm curious who is not at all-time highs. That's my question after last night, because so many.
The Stockholm 30 index not quite at all-time highs. The Nifty 500 index in India, not quite at all-time highs.
Tell them. Yeah.
Russian stocks, not quite at all-time highs yet either. Mexico and Brazil hitting new all-time highs priced in local currency.
Okay.
But not priced in dollars.
I got one.
Which one?
China.
I said that's what I lit off with.
I think you got to buy it here.
Yeah,
you got to buy
shit.
China. Yeah.
Nagayama says Sweden, we suck. So Sweden, I guess.
Sweden does not suck. These meatballs, bro. Notice how I have an Italian t-shirt on today?
Have you seen the Corona?
These Swedes might have better meatballs than the Italians.
Bullshit. That's the dumbest thing you ever said. Oh my God. They're awful. The meatballs shouldn't be sweet. Terrible.
All right. Well, anyway.
Pretty good. These Swedish meatballs, not bad. The Norwegians doing a nice job too, by the way. Shout out Norway. The Oslo index hitting new all-time highs, by the way.
I don't like the meatballs, but I am long. I love that base in the Corona.
What about that Nakisaki?
So anyway, back to the call from last night.
You don't like the Naki? I am talking about the call last night. The Nakisaki? It's not. You don't like that?
No, I like it just fine.
Can we throw up the
Let's
Nakisaki?
The
Throw
NOK
up the new slide
SDK.
2 there.
I was thinking about this when JC was sort of, this is towards the end of the call. He was ripping through a bunch of international charts, probably at least a dozen. Like
So
I said,
good.
most of them at or near all-time
So
highs.
good.
And it got a little repetitive. And I was thinking about the conversation we had last week, which was that you could look at a chart at all-time highs, and two people can think two very different things. One person can think that's good, another person can think that's bad, right? And if your mindset is the latter, then there was a lot not to like on the call last night, because there was a lot of charts going up and to the right. And I was thinking about that framing a lot while JC was doing his thing, because a lot of markets at or near all-time highs. And if you don't think if you think that's a bad thing, then like there's a lot to be fearful of right now, because
if you think that new all-time highs are a bad thing, you suck at math.
My point was, if you didn't know better and you were watching that call, there was a lot to make you worried, right? If you don't know that markets are at or near all-time highs, they're within what's the S&P is within 10% of all-time high most of the time, right? So if you don't know things like that, then if you think markets are like gravity, to use the thing we said last week, then like, yeah, I mean, gosh, I can't imagine how scared you must be right now.
I just want to say how grateful I am for people who are bad at math. Like, so grateful. Because if it wasn't for those kind of people that Spencer's talking about, people who think that new highs are a bad thing, right? If it wasn't for people like that,
I mean,
would we be as successful? You know, to quote the great Charlie Munger, shout out, rest in peace, Charlie Munger, one of the great closet technicians of all time. Charlie Munger turned over to Warren Buffett and said, Warren, if people weren't wrong so often, we wouldn't be so rich. So as grateful as Charlie Munger was, I'm right there with you, Charlie. Shout out, Charlie Munger.
Anyway, it was a great call last night. I did drop the link in the chat. I'll pin it there for the moment. Like 150 charts last night. It was crazy.
Can we talk about the Nakisaki? Strazza really likes this one.
Yeah, I have some thoughts. Also, just in the chat, does Ritholtz not offer crypto? Josh, we literally asked Michael Batnick about that
yesterday
on the guest segment yesterday. Yeah. They do. It's just not in their default allocation, I guess. But they
have like a fund that buys crypto.
They're happy to put you in crypto. I think he just said it was not part of like the default allocation. JC, have you seen Vietnam? I don't think we can end this conversation on international equities, right, without actually mentioning Vietnam.
Can we just talk about how much I love when Strazza calls it Vietnam?
Best country off of the April lows, actually.
Dude, I don't know anybody who loves Vietnam as much as Steve Strazza.
Vietnam has arrived. It's about time. We've been waiting years for this. Sean and my friends out in Vietnam, and look at this. I mean, the performance is what the hell is this?
Oh, that's Kenny. That's Kenny.
Kenny?
That is not. There are rules. This isn't Nam. There are rules.
That's okay. Wait, so Kenny's here. Kenny, wait, can we bring Kenny out? Because Kenny
SBET this morning.
We got Kenny Glick in the house. Then we got Todd Sone in the house. Let's bring on Kenny.
Yeah, all right.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they tug it. Putting up numbers, 99 problems, and I still kept it 100. Hold up. Yeah.
Kenny Glick in the house. Hello, sir.
Me love you long time.
Okay, great.
Are you wearing a guayabera?
Yeah. What's
up?
Is
that a guayabera?
Yes.
Where did you get a guayabera?
I'm on vacation every day now. What's up?
Hold on. Don't change the subject. Where did you get that guayabera?
I don't know. My wife bought it for me.
You need a pocket, by the way.
There's no pockets? Oh, I don't.
Dude, I got a good guayabera guy in Little Havana. He's going to hook you up.
Nice.
Dude, because the Cubans, they don't wear these suits with the ties. They wear guayaberas.
I was thinking for a second, will this shirt get past you? Nice. I like it.
Come on,
okay,
bro.
so listen, Kenny has to hop because his open house is starting in like 2 minutes, right?
Yes.
So we want to get him off before then. So real quick, what are you watching today, and what happened yesterday for you?
Well, what happened was, once again, I proved that you don't have to make money in the market. The company doesn't have to make money. So Wolf is what I've been talking about. WOLF. That's right, my friends. The bankrupt little chip stock that was at 40 cents on Thursday when there are takeover rumors abound. So, again, momentum is your best friend in a bull market, and I love a bankrupt stock. So, again, I'm calling Enron today. Hopefully they could resurrect themselves and we'll start buying that stock. But Wolf, WOLF. Yesterday we got involved at 166, and just for a goof, we held it overnight just to see what would happen. And here we are at 350. So loving bankrupt stocks, and I'm hoping NVTS comes along for the ride, because the rumor is Wolf NVTS combo taken over by NVIDIA. And I hope it happens because I own both. So far, so good. So far, so good.
All right. It is 9 o'clock. Kenny is going live. Link is on the screen and in the chat. Open house all day today, all day tomorrow, all day Thursday. If you missed yesterday, use that link in the replays there as well. Kenny, enjoy the day, and we'll have to check in on you in a little bit and see how things are going for you. Yeah. Open house, so everyone hit the bid.
Go join Kenny. Dude, the fact that you're letting everybody in there, good on you, Kenny. Good on you. Nice shirt, by the way. Well
Thanks,
done,
man. I got another one. I'll bust it out yet tomorrow for you.
You got to get a pocket. I got a guy. His name is Pepe.
All right.
Because of course it is.
All right. Hit the bid open house, guys. Link in chat. Pinned to the top right there.
That's right. I got a couple of Cuban Jews, too. Cuban Jews. They got Jubans.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Perlman married a Juban. Fun fact. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Perlman. Phil Perlman, Dr. Phil, is married to a Juban.
Okay, that's wonderful. I don't know what to say to that. We got Todd Sone in the house, and he was kind enough to send over a few charts. All those charts, JC, are in the deck. If you scroll down, you'll see them. Let's bring him out.
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Todd Sone, how are you, sir?
Hey, what's up?
What's up, my man?
How we doing?
Dude, couldn't be better. Got too much sun. Look at this tan, bro.
That's the Miami tan.
Little bit. It wasn't in Miami. It's too hot. Miami's too hot this time of year.
Hey, I was telling you, I was there last weekend. It was disgusting.
Did you go to Little Havana like I told you?
No. Too risky.
Dude, gringos go there. They're allowed. They're welcome. Just got to know what to order.
I was only there for like 13, 14 hours, and then I had to go up to Palm Beach.
Too bougie.
Took the Bright Line, which was good. Nice little train system they got there.
I've never taken that.
It was very nice.
Was it?
Free drinks, free food, comfortable chairs, far better than Amtrak.
Wow. Low bar.
Yeah.
Low bar. It's brand new too, so hard to screw that up. Amtrak's been there for a minute, right?
Yeah. It was good. It was good.
Wow. Don't embarrass me next time, Todd. Go over to Little Havana. Ask for Maria. There's always a Maria there. Whenever in doubt, just go. Maria, is Maria here?
I was going to Sexy Fish.
Don't go to Sexy. If you go to Sexy Fish, go to the bathroom. You gotta go to dude. This is the nicest bathroom I've ever. Right, Strazza? Tell him.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's the nicest
What's
bathroom
the guy's
I've ever
name?
seen.
Who's the James Bond actor? He's in there. He watches everybody pee.
Yeah, it's
It was Daniel Craig, Roger Moore.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. You've been traveling a lot, have you, Todd Sone?
I've been all over the place.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice. Milwaukee, Miami, Louisville, Cincinnati, Palm Beach.
Wow.
Denver.
Cincinnati. What is in Cincinnati?
What's your favorite city to conference in?
Well, this was not conferences. These were just meetings.
Okay, what's your favorite city to meet in?
Gosh. I don't know, man.
New York.
New York, because I don't have to go anywhere. Cincinnati was lovely. I did see Yankees Reds. Nice ballpark there.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice. Is Ken Griffey Jr. still on the Reds team?
No, I wish. There were some Griffey jerseys, though, so I appreciated that.
Nice. Todd Sohn, there's this misconception out there that new all-time highs could potentially be a bad thing for stocks, right? People who think that the stock market is like physics. You want to share some information there?
Probabilistically speaking, new all-time highs beget new all-time highs.
Right.
Okay, every once in a while you get a new all-time high and you correct from there. That's how probabilities work. But I wouldn't fade them. Let's see.
What's the over/under on how long it takes Tony Dwyer to make a comeback? Has he already made a comeback? No.
Wow, isn't he doing something with his kids? His son is like a healthcare company or something like that.
We got to get him back. He's too good. Something Tony Dwyer taught me a long time ago is that when your offense is on the field, call your offensive plays.
Yeah, exactly. Which is exactly the case right now. Discretionary, tech, financials, industrials, right?
Yeah. You could just look at a performance chart and it shows you the risk appetite.
Not even yet. I mean, forget even just a simple performance chart. Just look at the charts themselves.
Yeah.
And we said industrials. This doesn't include the transports, which you could talk me into them.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Uber's a tranny now, remember?
Uber, yeah, it was Uber. Forget Uber. I'm talking like the traditional stuff. Road and rail, maybe.
I think that's a great way to put it, Todd. Like even the bad stuff you look at these days, at least if it's offensive and it's like, okay, yeah, like you could, sure.
I would
buy that.
I would dabble in it. You know,
airlines making new 3-4 month highs.
Yeah, I mean, airlines.
Does it get worse than airlines, dude?
What a wild ride they've had since the election.
I see what you did there. Wild ride there.
Yeah, wild ride. Turbulent.
Semiconductors are back. No doubt about that.
Do you trust this though?
Yeah, I trust it. I'm a little weary that we have new all-time highs. The offense is powerful. I wonder how long before you start to see the sentiment data flip. Right? There's very early signs of that in some of the work I've been doing, but I wouldn't call it a massive risk yet.
Do you think this breaks out, or are we just retesting those former highs and then it falls apart and the whole thing's a scam and it's a bubble and all those things?
I don't think it's a scam or anything like that. You could talk me into a little pause. Maybe it's a little rate anxiety because you got rates perking up again, but I would buy that. I'd be happy to do it. All those semis. I mean, my NVIDIA broke out. Broadcom, strong, TSM, and all the other ones, the AMDs, Applied Materials, Microns, Lam Research, Daily Pinnacle, all those look good.
Yeah.
Even Wolf Speed, 100% yesterday for some reason. Even though it almost went bankrupt.
Yeah. I think
Todd, like corporate earnings or valuation mean anything. And not just in this market, in any market. There's no evidence at all that these valuations mean anything.
The rules have changed for that. It doesn't matter anymore.
It seems like the rules are always changing. Seems like that's
a
feature, not a bug there.
The rules always change. It's market structure. Market structure changes. But even in Korea, Hynix 000660, I think is the ticker.
Damn, you're good.
Tokyo Electron 8035 in Japan. Those are semiconductors.
You hear this, Strazza? Look at him rattling off these numbers. Well done, sir.
The man knows Korean equity tickers off the top.
Yeah, look at KDEF. That's where it's at.
Good.
Korean defense. Forget European defense. We did that story already. Korean defense.
Old news. You gotta defend Korea, baby. They got crazy up north.
You got North Korea. You got China over there. I mean,
so are these the big names, Todd? Is this basically what you're getting in something like EWI?
And that Korean defense fund. You're getting some
the names you're naming off. Like, are these big Korean?
The Hynix is the second biggest after Samsung.
Okay, there you go.
Which Samsung I think has bottomed. So it's pretty interesting to me that Korea has ripped without this massive move from Samsung. That's how you know the underlying market's really in pretty good shape.
How come Samsung doesn't have a normal ADR? How come it only has OTC?
Believe me, that's one of when I wake up in the middle of the night, I just ponder that. So why doesn't Samsung have a?
Yeah.
Throw up the new slide too there, please, and then we'll get to Todd's charts. I know Todd brought some charts, but since we're on the subject,
Well,
Talking,
EWY is
talking won, little won,
right.
no big deal.
Yeah, maybe the currency helps here. But that's just part of investing in some of these international ETFs. Like the currency's part of it. So as long as it's going up, okay, maybe it's the FX that's driving it. That's like Argentina. The FX is driving it. Forget the equity.
What about Turkey? Think the FX is
Yeah.
driving a little there?
Yeah. No, that's another one. But even if you look at the underlying stocks in Korea, okay, Samsung we think is bottom. Hynix is the second largest, has really broken out. And then all these defense companies and robotics companies are doing really well. They're just kind of too small for us for them not necessarily to matter, but they're just off the radar because they're much smaller than a lot of international stuff. But they're on fire.
This pattern, this little scoop pattern that you could see here in the won, that's been playing out all over the place in these emerging currencies. Like Brazilian real look the same. Like when you see that little fail, like that little scoop, you buy it.
Love the scoop.
Yeah.
Love the scoop. Won, Taiwan dollar.
Yeah.
The yen is a tough one for me right now. I'm not sure what to make of that.
Dong. Yeah.
Todd, you got to go to Dom's Bogan. Spencer, can you drop the link in there on the chat for everybody? When they visit New York City, go to Dom's Bogan, my new favorite. It's not new, it's new to me. Korean barbecue. You been, Todd?
Is it in K-Town? Where is it?
He's been there one time.
K-Town, but it's off the beaten path. You have to cross Fifth Avenue. It's east of Fifth.
Yeah, so
you got to go an extra half a block.
New K-Town.
I'm saying.
He's eaten there once. And I've heard him talk about it on the morning show 10 times since.
I'm all about Gray Street.
No,
Cafe.
I have not gone once. I've gone 3 times. I went once with my financial advisor. I went once with Pat, and I went once with
You brought Pat there?
I brought Pat there. Yeah. Remember when I had 3 dinners that one night like a month ago or 2? That was dinner number 1.
Gray Street Cafe. Gray Street Cafe in K-Town. That's a spot for dessert.
Dude, there's so much good food on that street. It's like this little street. It's like 1 block. Well, 1.5 now, I guess.
Love Gray
Street
Street
good.
Cafe.
I'll meet you there in Dom's Bogan.
I'll go. Yeah, let's do it. I don't do late dinners though.
No,
I do multiple dinners, so you'll do the early session.
I'm an early bird.
All right. All right. Let's get into some of Todd's charts here. Enough with Korea.
Oh, hold on, Todd. I don't know if you heard us at the top of the show. Trump Media just launched basically like a cap-weighted crypto ETF.
They filed for something this morning.
Yeah.
Like it was a blue chip. Is that what it said?
It's the blue chip crypto.
I got a filing for it right before I hopped on.
Is that an oxymoron? Technically,
listen.
Blue chip crypto.
Listen,
you can make a meme out of it.
I think it's a great name. It's going to be 70% Bitcoin, 15% Ether, 8% Solana, 5% CRO, 2% Ripple.
But if it's 70% Bitcoin, does the rest really even matter? Like tell me when it's
okay. It's too much. Yeah.
30% Bitcoin.
They got to cap that.
Yeah, it's like the equity. The equity is 60% US or 70% US. The MSCI World is 65% US.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, you're not doing much.
Can I get my question in? Does something like this exist yet?
In other forms, yes, not in the ETF.
Then like in what?
So like Grayscale has a similar product.
Okay, futures.
But no. It's I think it's a closed-end fund. It's not an ETF. They're trying to make it into an ETF, and the SEC is all, hold on, we're not there yet because of the.
But blue chip ETF is blue chip crypto. That'll work. That's okay. I mean, it's the president of the United States is launching.
Wait, I always assume the church frog, the smoking chicken one that you like, is the blue chip of blue chips.
It doesn't say.
Yeah, I'm not a smoking chicken. I'm more of a dog with hat.
Yeah,
that's guy.
We're talking blue chip.
I got some.
You got to bring those into.
Dude, I'm up 30% on my CryptoPunk purchase a few months ago. How do you like me now, huh?
You bought more. You bought more NFTs.
I bought another CryptoPunk like a few months ago on the pullback. Bought the dip.
I like that. No, I like that. I think
we're not a blue chip until there's a sexy fish blue chip.
Now you're talking, dude. If we can get a sexy fish meme coin, it's already out. It's got to exist already. These things take seconds to get going. That thing's got to be flying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look into it later this afternoon because I got nothing to do.
Do we ever get that NFT price data nailed down, JC? Because I feel like if you could look at a composite of NFT price data right now, there would be a giant base, like a big old ARKy looking base there. I feel
Nope.
like no.
I have an ARK. The note I sent you is a little dated, but there's an ARK slide in there for all you ARK fans.
Shall we? I mean, Todd
Ooh.
Sone, some of the best
Dive in.
charts in the world, no doubt about it. Fan
Great charts.
favorite here, Todd Sone.
Great
Can we
charts.
just get to his charts? Like, why are we wasting any time, talking nonsense when we've got some of the best charts on the planet here? Come on. Throw it up there, Spencer.
I forget what page is in there, Spencer. So I mean, this is a little dated, but the stuff is still relevant here.
Too much words.
Yeah, skip the words. Keep going, Spencer. Forget this. Too many words.
Yeah.
Well, it depends what you want to talk. You want to talk sector flows? We can do that. You want to talk ARK? We can do that.
I want to talk ARK. Which one's the ARK chart?
Keep going, Spencer. I don't know. Where's
Attention.
Spencer? He's feeding the
God,
baby.
Spencer.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. We know ARK has lifted off.
Look at the circle.
What I found interesting was that their timely purchase of Circle is really what's boosting the fund there. Okay, Circle's giving some back. I think they may have earnings today too. We'll see. But so if you're looking at ARK, they actually timed the purchase of Circle correctly, and that's what's really driving that fund there. I always find it interesting. Like we can chart ARK, but it's interesting to me because ARK is an active fund, so it's hard to chart that. It's always kind of like an oxymoron, charting an active ETF because the holdings can change so much. But they hit it right on Circle. That's not to disparage like the rest of the portfolio still working outside of, say, Tesla.
That was a couple weeks ago when ARK came out of that bull flag. It looked like it exploded. It was when Circle IPO'd or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Circle's driving a lot of the returns there.
But okay, Todd, I don't think you should look at that as evidence of weakness for ARK, because if you look at their sister funds, like the whole suite of ETFs,
W
this
is the one. W is the best one.
And
I feel very strongly about that.
How many funds look like this right now with Tesla is such a piece of shit here at the bottom. Do you still own this, JC? What a
I got a half a legacy position. We took half off on a double.
Elon Musk is a disappointment.
If you want ARK without Tesla, you buy Strategas's flagship ETF. I'm gonna brag about that one. SAMT. SAMT owns Circle.
Okay.
It owns Palantir. It owns Robinhood.
Go Todd.
It owns Defense. It does not own Tesla. It's basically ARK because it doesn't fit in any of the
Sounds like a way less shitty ARK.
Yeah. It's a quality. It's a higher quality ARK from Strategas.
Well done, sir. Well done.
It owns Rocket Labs, Planet Labs, right? And it's done well. If you take it, you can chart that one if you want. SAMT, it's crushing it. But then maybe you'll show me some retracements on that one. ARK SAMT in the chat. Strategas macro thematic. I gotta brag about it.
I think you should. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
People are like, he's only talking his book. It's like, well, what book is he supposed to talk
That's
about?
the Strategas flagship ETF we have there. I don't help manage it, but I try to mention it when I can because it's doing very well. It's a really unique portfolio too. So for what that's worth. So if you're looking for ARK, but I also feel ARKW is also a really interesting fund to me because you're getting the ARK stuff with Bitcoin in it.
Wait, it's SAMM.
No, SAMT. T is the one I want you to look at. That's if you wanted Strategas as a firm in the ETF wrapper. It's actually run this guy. He's the one who runs it right behind me. He's like he just waved to all of his fans.
Nice.
Oh, that's funny.
Stop. Give him a shout. Tell him we say what's up.
He's the brains behind the organization.
Somebody in the chat.
You bring the good looks though.
What's that in the chat?
Somebody in the chat wants to know who the lady behind you is.
Oh,
who's the woman in back of Sone? She looks pissed.
That was Michelle.
Is she okay? All right.
She's good. Okay. She handles Canada for us. Shout out
Well,
to Canada.
Speaking
Hey.
of new all-time highs, shout out Canada.
So wait, let's do this. So Canada, I tell people Canada is a great addition to a global portfolio. Totally under the radar. Yeah, we know Europe is working. Japan trying to come out of that consolidation. China's doing its own thing. Canada gets no attention. We three might be the only ones looking at it.
Yeah.
Banks are strong there. Energy, waiting for an opportunity cost, and then the gold miners, and that's a huge part of that index.
Yep.
So, and if you look at I think it's the ACWI ex-US, Canada is the third largest country now. It's surpassed China. You could talk me into it surpassing the UK maybe in the back half of the year. There's like a 1% difference, which is pretty large for a fund like that. You could talk me into that Canada is becoming the second most important global ex-US market.
I like that. I think that's a hot take.
Yeah.
But you can make a sound argument for it. Europe is just, there's nothing there anymore. Isn't IMO from Canada, JC?
You bet it is. Best
Yeah.
oil and gas stock in the world. Guess what stock has the highest short interest right now in America?
Oh, is it IMO? It's not IMO. Is it
How
IMO?
right?
Dude,
how is that
sorry,
right?
not highest short interest. Most days to cover, which is
Okay, yeah, all
Valid.
right, yeah, all right. I'll give you that.
dude.
Yeah.
It's like 2 months. It's like 43 days or something crazy.
IMO.
That's a weird liquidity situation there. It's strange. Yeah.
I mean, look at TMX Group, right? So I like the exchanges, not because of trading volatility, but because they're becoming these data companies, and to an extent, crypto data companies.
Yeah.
TMX is right there. That stock is ripped. The Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, for what that's worth, right? That's a random one.
Why is Tel Aviv so random?
Wait,
no one thinks everyone overlooks Israel. That's another overlooked market.
How can you do it? It outperformed the United States last year. It's
Yeah.
crushing the United States this year.
But
All everybody does is just talk shit about what's happening in Israel. Terrible sentiment out there. Stock line go up every day.
Wait,
Yeah.
so are you suggesting we buy this piece of hot garbage, TVAVF? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I guess what is that? The OTC version?
Todd, does this even have any volume?
I don't think that one. I'm looking at the local TASE space Tel Aviv
Got it.
Israel
Okay.
ticker.
Yeah.
But TMX Group in Canada also, like, it's already run up. Not timely, but the exchanges, don't sleep on those.
Dude,
That's
broker dealers and
Canada.
exchanges, new all-time highs. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan,
So we looked
all-time
at
highs.
we actually looked at this morning, Chris and I, from someone had asked, has the Federal Reserve cut rates? Okay, any cut with banks at a new all-time high? Does not happen. It's only happened once or twice in the early 90s.
Okay, but you
Good
should
time to be buying stocks there in the early 90s, if I recall.
Yeah. So not that we're focused on cuts and rate policy and all that here, but if you're looking for cuts, why would they do it if the financials are so strong?
But okay, isn't it a
Because
lending
you had
thing?
an S&L crisis in the early 90s, so that may have triggered some of those rate cuts, right?
Yeah.
Don't you want to do the analysis on regional banks and not the giant money center banks because they're barely lending anymore these days anyway?
True. Although I don't have, I got to find the data further enough back because that regional bank index only goes back to like 95 maybe.
It's a great point though.
But yeah, so that's just something to keep in mind if you're looking for cuts. Like, I don't know, Goldman, JP Morgan's on fire.
Apparently the market thinks there's no shot at a cut this month anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be surprised. The only questionable part is these private asset managers. Those are kind of junky to me. Blackstone, Apollo, KKR. They're not as strong as the peers.
Shout out Bank of New York Mellon.
Bank of New York Mellon's great. Love that.
Happy
any of these big asset managers, all in.
Todd, what was the first stock you ever bought?
Disney.
Really?
Yeah.
How old were you?
That I bought with my own money or was gifted. How about that?
I
think both though. But I opened up a E-Trade account when I was 15, maybe.
Good for you. Shout out to your parents.
That's awesome.
E-Trade baby, that was E-Trade was the thing. It was the Robin Hood before Robin Hood.
Dude, the Shankopotamus commercial with the E-Trade baby.
It was definitely
Learn the
Disney,
rules,
though.
Shankopotamus.
It was Disney because I'm a big Disney fan. I'm sure I had some Apple in there at some point because this was a couple of years later was the iPod and all that stuff.
I was a BlackBerry guy.
Never had a BlackBerry. Never had a
How old are
BlackBerry.
you, Todd?
38.
Dude, you're just such a young lad.
Yeah. I'm holding on to these 30s.
Dude, you look good. You look good.
Got exercise.
You brought so many charts, Todd.
Can we talk about some of them?
You're crazy like us.
So
we like that.
the one main thing in that, which listen, it's not technical, was about the quality ETF that's out there.
Yeah, throw that one up.
So QUAL, okay?
Boring.
But a lot of our clients own it because it's quality, right? It's on the label. I own quality. We tell our clients, you don't know what's going on in the market. Oh yeah, you own the quality. And I noticed that the underperformance was growing, right?
Yeah.
This is a $50 billion fund, one of the largest equity ETFs out there, one of the largest ETFs in general out there. And it's underperforming. And if you look at that scatter plot you had up before, since its inception 13, 12 years ago, it's the same exact thing as the S&P 500. So if you're buying quality, you're just buying the S&P. What do you like? There's no differentiation here. And if you look at the following slide, if you break it down,
sideways.
Break it down by style and size, and you can see those two funds at the top, the two quality funds, are 56% large cap growth. The S&P is basically 50 or so, 60% large cap growth as well. So I've had a lot of feedback like, oh, we didn't realize we're just dolloping on more of the same into our portfolio, as opposed to buying international, small cap, other asset classes like maybe managed futures or crypto or something like that. So this is one of those random, it's a boring fund, but it actually presents an interesting problem for a lot of people because they all own it, millions of dollars worth, and yet this fund does nothing. This was the same thing with ESG a few years ago. ESG cost you more to buy, but you were literally getting the same return. It was doing nothing for your portfolio outside of virtue signaling, right? And so this is this is the same problem.
It's interesting how it's kind of cresting and rolling over in terms of its outperformance just this cycle. Like it led off the lows for a good bit. I wonder if that's a value growth dynamic. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly growth. It's mostly growth in here. NVIDIA, Microsoft.
Right.
My one big issue, maybe it's a risk, is that a lot of the most popular ETFs out there all own the same stuff. And okay, it's worked out great. That's how you build wealth in the long run.
Yeah.
But I just wonder, like, when does this become a larger issue? So if I own the S&P, if I own large cap growth, if I own quality, if I own maybe an AI fund just to surround that, I own so much of those 10 stocks.
I would say this is already an issue, what you're describing.
Yeah. And I don't want to make a massive deal out of it. But if you're trying to run a global portfolio, if you're an advisor or in a family office, whatever it is, just understand, like, if you flip open the hood of what your ETFs hold, it's a lot of the same stuff.
I think it's such an important thing to be aware of as an investor, because basically what it means is that if you're buying that cool new AI fund that iShares just launched as a way to get AI exposure, right, to your investments, then you're probably just buying more of the NASDAQ 100.
Exactly. So I'm gonna brag again with SAMT. We're trying to find the derivatives of that.
Love it.
You know, the 2.0, 3.0 tiers of
things like Rocket Lab to express a thesis on space and exploration.
Whatever it might be.
Instead of
you'll get some of the, you'll get a Meta in there or Microsoft, but then the rest of the stocks too.
Did you have any quantum names in there, Todd?
No, there's no quantum in there for now.
Why not?
I don't think they don't like the quantum.
Who's they?
They're the compliance folks, because they're future zeros, these stocks. Smart people say.
Is it compliance? No, it's not compliance telling you can't own it, is it?
Yeah, who's telling you that?
No, they just don't look at them as like a true business yet.
They're not.
I get it.
Who's talking about businesses?
Yeah, no,
I get it.
There's zeros. You got to buy the zeros.
Stocks,
I like the dynamic between the two of you actually having completely different opinions.
I think we agree. You got to, if they're future zeros, you got to buy the hell out of them.
Hell yeah! Now we're talking.
Okay, true. I'll give you that.
And some of these things might be scams. Quite frankly, Strazza and I are hoping they are.
They own nuclear instead. That's probably the better way to play it to me.
Like Kenny is so on point these days. He's literally finding the ones that are going bankrupt and buying them, making 100% pre-market.
That's right.
That's the kind of
I like
market
the
we're in.
ones that change their name and just like add quantum or like add AI, even though it has nothing to do with AI or quantum. Those are the ones you got to buy.
What about
And animals plus AI? If you could get like an animal, because they're memes, plus AI, like the Big Bear or the Sound Hound, put them together. Animals plus AI.
Are you
all
listening?
day.
This is alpha.
good-
I hope you in the audience are listening. This is alpha right here, guys. In the wine world, it's the opposite. If there's an animal on the label, you can't drink it.
That's a
Can't drink it. There's an animal on the label. But in the market, Strazza is on point today.
You or Kenny buying with the leverage versions though, the 2x versions?
I don't do that.
We
No.
need
Strazza
a
likes
double
that.
wolf speed.
They don't have that yet. But 2x ASTS is coming out.
Oh, so good.
I know that's right up Strazza's degenerate alley.
2x ASTS. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
We love ASTS, and I think Rocket Labs is doing the Space Mobile right now. It's following its path higher. These space stocks are literally going to Mars.
We like space.
Love space.
Whether it's through our fund or ARKX, the ARK Space Exploration.
Todd, let me ask you this before you hop. Is the space ETF hitting new all-time highs? Is that evidence of risk aversion or perhaps a little risk appetite out there for equities?
Oh, I'm assuming that's risk appetite.
Space, yeah.
Space is the final frontier, man.
Dude, they're bringing capitalism to space. And I just got word. It's public information, but I just got word that the guy Jared, the CEO of Shift 4, the founder of Shift 4, who was named head of NASA, and then one of these bitter guys convinced Trump to put a squadouche on that. That guy might be a Russian spy, so we might be back.
I thought you were going to say Jared from Subway.
No,
he might also
definitely
be a Russian
spy.
He might.
What are you talking? What are you reporting on here?
Remember that guy that went to space?
Yes.
Right? Jared Isaacman, CEO and founder of Shift 4.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah, crazy
he
guy.
was named head of NASA. And then one of these guys that was beefing said, this guy used to give donations to liberals back in the day. So they were like, oh, we can't have this guy as the head of NASA. Well, the guy who called him out might be a Russian spy. So we might be back, baby.
Long animal AI and Russian spies.
Dude, shorting Russian spies all day, man. Can't have that.
Wow.
Long Canada. Long Canada.
I like that call, Todd.
Which one, Canada or the animal AI?
Canada.
I'm telling you. I mean, could I make the case to pinch stretch here? Yeah, but I think it's a really interesting diversifier too if you have too much growth in tech.
Europe was stretched, and then it just kept going in a straight line higher.
Yeah, I mean, still you have to like Europe, but I think that story's a little overcooked in the near term.
The question is, where in Europe? Europe's a big place.
The interesting one to me would be if the luxury names get back. That would be good for France.
Yeah.
So Germany's got the defense and SAP and stuff like that. We already did that. Italy and Spain are the banks. Those have been great, very strong. And then so France, LVMH, Hermes, can those ever come back? That's gonna be bullish for France.
Todd, you don't pronounce the H, bro. It's Hermes. It's not Hermes.
Hermes?
There's no H. Hermes. Dude, you ever try to buy anything at that store? Damn, it's expensive.
This is way too expensive. I've bought my wife's stuff from there, and then I feel very poor. And that's
I
what
love how they have a store right across the street from the New York Stock Exchange. That's cool.
Yeah, and then I have
see
to
what
go.
They did there.
Then I got to lever up on 2x ASTS to make the money back from the purchase.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Todd, give us one more on your mind before you hop.
Don't say Kava.
No, Cheesecake Factory. Come on.
Oh, dude, what a chart!
Cheesecake Factory, dude. The short interest is off the charts, bro.
Cheesecake Factory. That one's crushing it, and
Yep.
people tell me that's the new ish for the youngins.
They got decent salads there. You ever have the salads?
I haven't had Cheesecake Factory in 20 years.
The menu's too big at this place. The menu's too big. It's the size of a damn Bible. Like it could take you 30 minutes to flip through this whole menu. It's one of those places.
Throw up slide 2 there, please, Mr. Spencer Israel. Thank you very much. Look at that chart, guys. Look at that chart.
What do we got?
Who shorts a stock like Cheesecake Factory in the middle of a bull market, though?
Dude, and in America, where people are just looking to get fatter, this is a great place to do that.
This is, forget McDonald's, forget QSR, Cheesecake, and Darden too. I always forget which one Darden owns. DRI.
DRIs, aren't they Outback and Olive Garden?
I always confuse them with EAT, with Brinker.
I think it's Longhorn.
EAT is that's the place with the chips and salsa that my wife likes.
Chili's.
That's Chili's.
Chili's. There he is. Can't talk about Chili's without Spencer.
Well, it's 9:34. I figured I'd hop in and you know.
He just appeared after we started
talking
about Chili's.
You know.
No, Todd, good call on the Cheesecake Factory. Ton of short interest, big base. You're betting on Americans getting fatter. I love all these trends.
Listen, that's a small cap name. Small caps have been terrible, but there's stuff like that works in there.
Great pick.
Yeah,
you know?
great call, Todd. Well done, sir. Well done. Fan favorite, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Todd Sone. Give it up for him, yo.
Thanks, Todd.
Good to see you guys.
I love it. Todd Sone. Is he the best guest?
He canceled on us last week, and I was very sad.
He was being a Florida man.
Yeah, that's great. Happy for him.
Dude, what's up with that? Did you hear that Florida man just he stole one of those cars in Key West, and he was like on it? Did you see that?
So this is all the news. It's the first thing I got told when I woke up this morning, actually. He got high on meth, went to the trolley, the Old Town Trolley Company, told them that he worked there, got in the trolley car, drove it down to Duval Street, picked up a number of tourists along the way, and then got arrested for jacking the trolley.
Throw up there, slide 2 there. Slide 2. Shout out to Florida man.
I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know what we're
Florida man story. There's always meth involved in the best Florida man stories. Sad, really. But
in New Jersey, we had a guy break into a Shake Shack and make himself dinner.
Dude, Shake Shack also looking pretty good. You guys see Shake Shack?
No.
Oh yeah, and it was his birthday, so hopefully they go easy on him.
Throw up slide 2. So back in the day, Shake Shack, before they went public and turned into what it is today, it used to just be this little joint right in Madison Square Park, and they used to have like a video camera, so you could go online and see like the line and see how long it was, and we would go down there and have lunch all the time.
JC, this one too, like massive breakout. I've been waiting for this stock to be good like all my career. I feel like this was a hot IPO back in the day. I don't know if like this kind of like the situation you described definitely fizzled out. Shake Shack was like one of like the hottest thing in the city.
Yeah, I used to really, really like that place. We used to take our interns down there.
Great burgers. A little on the small side. But
gotta get the milkshake. Gotta get the vanilla milkshake with the French fries. Yeah, double burger.
But like this is one of those trendy restaurant stories, is it not? Where it was boomtown when they first hit the scene, and it's tough to replicate or grow from there. I think that's been their problem for 10 years now. No?
Yeah. I mean,
really trendy stuff. Like Jeff Mackey is just the best at covering these companies because you have to be on top of the consumer trends, and they change like that.
What's hard about companies that are trendy and growing to get these rich valuations is you have to keep growing to justify it, right?
And your demographic ages out, and there's just like a myriad of issues, and it's like ask these clothing companies. That's why somebody like Polo Ralph Lauren, shout out, breaking out to like new highs out here. It's so impressive the way that these clothing brands, these apparel companies who do stick around over the long run, they just reinvent themselves over and over and over again.
That Ralph Lauren chart, holy, I had no idea. My goodness.
Isn't that crazy? Polo's back.
It's in our denim index.
It's back, baby.
Speaking of denim, Levi, no. Okay. Anyway, what's going on today? We got Jeff Mackey. Speaking of Jeff Mackey, is going live for his weekly show at 1 o'clock today. I'm guessing he'll talk about Amazon. Today is day 1 of Amazon Prime Day, which is now like a 3 or 4 day event.
I have so much stuff to order.
So much stuff to buy. And then 3 o'clock, Sean's new show.
Sick.
What are my options? 3 o'clock today. Sean's going to be
Get it?
talking about what his options are with
Get it?
options.
Yeah.
That's what we got going on the channel. So we'll see Jeff at 1, see Sean at 3. If you want to trade live with Kenny, the link to do that is in the top. It's at the top of the chat on YouTube. He is live all day today, tomorrow, and Thursday. If for whatever reason you're having problems getting in, just shoot us an email. I'll put the email up on the screen. There it is. We will give you the link. You can all that jazz. So today, tomorrow, Tuesday, Kenny open house. That's what we got. Tomorrow's show. Who do we have on tomorrow's show? Oh, wait. Yes, tomorrow, Michael Martin, who has not been on the show for quite some time. It's been like over a year.
Wow.
Since we've had Michael Martin on the show. So that'll be fun.
Him and I were just at the New York Athletic Club.
Wow.
Great establishment. Good eats too, man. Good eats. What was I eating that was so good?
I don't know.
I think it was some roast beef sandwiches I was having there. Little mini roast beef sandwiches. Whoo! They were
Good eats, fancy people, probably not Swedish meatballs. JC wore a tie.
I wore a tie and a suit and my Ferragamos.
Oh,
Ferragamos, bringing them out.
smoking.
Yeah, I was looking pretty good, not going to lie.
Yeah, I saw you. You were.
I was pimping.
All right. Thanks for watching. Drop us a like.
We're not going to do recess? I got a great recess.
Oh, I didn't
now
know.
He wants to do recess.
I wasn't
Oh,
aware.
he wants to do recess.
All
Okay.
right.
In the chat.
Oh.
It's in the chat.
Oh.
Chapter 1, page 1 of the Outliers book. Check that out. Malcolm Gladwell there.
Oh.
So I'm reading Outliers. This was a long time ago. I'm reading Outliers. Everybody's read it. It's a must read. And it took me a little long to read it. So this must have been like, I don't know, 8-9 years ago or something like that. And
Yeah.
I just opened the book. Page 1, chapter 1. It talks about Rosetto. This is a t-shirt from Rosetto Bakery. So as the story goes, this book, excellent book. Highly recommend this book. As the story goes, they were doing a study on this particular town in Pennsylvania, out northeast in Pennsylvania, and just the deaths based on heart disease, like the heart disease deaths were like crazy outliers, like crazy lows in terms of deaths based on heart disease. But the people were eating and drinking and smoking and they just couldn't figure out, why are these people living so long if they're not doing anything differently than the other fat Americans? Why was it? It's because all these Italian immigrants came in, they moved to Rosetto, and they weren't dealing with all the American nonsense. They were just focused on their own little community, living their Italian lifestyle. Like if they were in Italy, they were just doing it in Pennsylvania. And it was really the lack of stress, really, that you see in the rest of America, according to the study.
It wasn't like
people were living longer.
Weren't they like eating like shit that grew in the ground too, though? Not like wasn't that part of it?
There may have been a little bit of that. But I've been to Rosetto. These people are they don't look great. I mean, not any better. It's not like you're in like Boulder, Colorado, or like Miami or San Diego, where everybody looks great. Like it ain't that. Right. So it was really their lifestyle. So I was just fascinated by it because I knew Rosetto, because I had been to the bakery. I had gotten some snacks. So I was familiar with the area. My wife's grandfather's from there. And I'm opening up the book and I'm like, oh my God, I know this place. Right. So shout out to Rosetto.
So you got Rosetto blood in you. Your babies are going to live forever.
We'll see about that.
It is fascinating, though. They've done plenty of studies like this, and there's places in like Asia too, and yes, like Italy out in the mountains or whatever, where the people are just living different and living forever.
I talk to people who grew up there, and they tell me stories how there was like this weird guy like walking around asking everybody questions. Like that was like a real thing.
That's awesome.
He is a weird guy.
So if you are in, no, it wasn't Malcolm Gladwell
Oh,
asking the questions. Malcolm Gladwell was talking about the
my
study.
bad.
That's
Okay.
what the book's. Have you read Outliers?
No.
Dude,
And
read Outliers.
it's one of the
Great
many books. It's one of the many books on my list I have not read. I mean, I
Dude,
got a lot.
read it. Read Outliers.
Yeah.
If you're interested in hockey and why everybody in the NHL is born between January and February months.
It's like
a lot of crazy stuff in there.
Okay.
It's like Freakonomics.
Mm.
And his other book, Tipping Point, is excellent. He's got a number of really good
I
books.
started reading Tipping Point. I got bored.
Tipping Point's cool. I like that.
I
He
didn't
was
like
like the hottest author out there
For a
10,
while,
10,
yeah.
15 years
For like
ago.
a minute. Yeah, he
So
had his
hot.
5 minutes of fame.
So hot.
My recess was going to be. I saw this headline this morning
Yeah.
that TSA has officially removed the shoe removal policy as a thing. So you don't have to take your shoes off when you go through security anymore at the airport, which is a thing that they enacted. I looked up August 2006. is when
Nice.
that became a requirement at airports to take your shoes off. My question now is, what is the benefit of having pre-check? If everyone can keep their shoes on, why should I pay the $75 or whatever it is?
You got to have the global entry. That's what you need.
Here's the thing.
Well-
You shouldn't have to pay an extra $75 just to get treated like a human at the airport. It's kind of crazy. And this has been going on for too long. I think you reduce the airport security and we all just take the chance, because I'm all for it at this point.
I just don't think
What
Strazza
a
likes the
terrible
guy
experience.
touching him in the butt.
I hate it.
I love having the privilege of keeping my shoes on, and now everyone gets that privilege, and I don't feel special. And I'm just wondering why should I renew?
What about the belt? When are they going to stop making you take off the damn belt?
Well, pre-check, you get to keep the belt
That's
on.
why you got to think about that
yeah.
ahead of time. Make sure you wear pants that don't need a belt.
Yeah.
Last time I came back and I had stocked up on some sausage from the market, the Italian market. They made me take out everything in my bag and unwrap my giant meat sticks.
Did you grab one to go? Did you grab a little piece to go?
They're like, prove that it's sausage. Sort of got your story.
Got to prove it.
Taking
All right.
electric helicopters everywhere I can as soon as that's like a legit thing, and nobody's gonna touch me before I get on board.
Shout out to the braciole. I'm not eating enough braciole these days. Do you like the braciole, Strazza?
Yeah. On a
Yeah.
pizza too.
Braciole on the pizza?
Mm-hmm. It's a
Really?
thing. I'll tell you, out in Italy, and I'm not saying that you should copy what they're doing in Italy for pizza, because pizza is an American thing and the pizza's much better here
Shout
than
out New
Italy.
York.
But they're creative out there, putting the braciole on it. They're putting on like the Italian bologna all over the pizza. Little whipped ricotta.
I like the hot oil that they put on the table in Italy. So you can put the hot oil. I'm into that.
I've become such a hot honey guy. I'm like embarrassed about it.
You know,
I bought-
I'm with you, Strazza. I don't think it's okay that I like it that much.
I can't
really
get enough
do
of
like
it. I'm drizzling it on everything, driving Rose crazy.
Yeah.
Sticky
How
fingers.
un-Italian of you there, Strazza. You should try the Swedish meatballs
Oh, fuck that.
and mix it
All
with
right.
the lingonberry. They do the lingonberry
so-
real good
so-
out there.
so
The
delicious.
Italians don't know nothing
So
about
delicious.
lingonberries.
Anyway, that's it. We're done. Thanks for watching, guys. Drop us a like. We'll see you at 1 for Jeff Mackey, 3 o'clock for Sean, with a special guest, I might add, and tomorrow morning with Michael Martin. Have a great day.
Adios.
I can't take no